Hello students, welcome to this next lecture on food feeding and digestion in Amphioxus. In our previous lecture, we have studied about the digestive system of Amphioxus. Now in this lecture, we are going to study about what kind of food does the Amphioxus feed on and the feeding habit of Amphioxus and even the digestion in which part of alimentary canal digestion takes place. So now let us look about this topic starting from food and feeding. So Amphioxus, it feeds on microorganisms like diatoms, protozoans and other organic particles. The animal does not usually swim. As it is a marine animal, it generally lives in the wells which are dug in the sand. So animal does not usually swim. But in search of food, most of the time, most of the time, it remains in its burrow where uh, the food of Amphioxus consists of microorganisms like diatoms, protozoans, and other organic particles, etc. As the animal is sedentary, generally it do not swim in search of food, but most of the time it remains in the burrow, which in a position that its anterior end always project out in the water. So generally it do not swim, but the wave of water current which are coming along with the tides that bring the food particle for the animal, as these animal remain at the seashore in a upright position with the anterior end projecting out of the water. A continuous current of water is maintained due to well set movement of cilia of the gill slits. The gill slits, it generally, the cilia of the gill slits, they beat, and due to beating of the cilia, a well set water current is maintained through the animal body. The water current enters in through the mouth. Generally, through mouth, the water enters in after taking its course through vestibule. That means when the water enters through the mouth, it passes through vestibule, that means buccal cavity. From buccal cavity, it passes into enterostome, which is a passage between buccal cavity and pharynx. Then the water enters into pharynx. From pharynx, it goes to gill slits, and finally from gill slits, the water enters into atrium, and finally the atrium opens out to atriopore. So this is the path of water from external to the body and from body again to external. That means water enters through mouth, then goes to buccal cavity. From buccal cavity, it enters into enterostome, into pharynx. Then from pharynx, it goes to gill slits, and through gill slits, it passes into atrium, and finally, atrium collects the water from pharynx and pass out to atriopore. So this is the path of water. Thus, the animal is ciliary feeder. Animal is ciliary feeder because the cilia causes entry of water, or cilia maintain the water current. So hence animal is said to be the ciliary feeder. In the feeding, the oral cirri, during feeding, at the time of feeding, the oral cirri, they turn inward like this in front of mouth. They turn inward over the entrance of oral hood. So in front of mouth, they turn in front of mouth, forming a network or forming a meshwork. Thus, the larger particle of sand are excluded from entering into the mouth along with water. So when the cilia or when the oral cirri, they cover the mouth, it forming a net like you can say part. So this net like portion, it prevents the entry of larger particle of uh, sand or other material to enter into the mouth. The food particles suspended in the water, the smaller food particle which enters along with water, they enter through mouth, and these food particles which are suspended in water, they are detained or they are collected in the pharynx. They are suspended, they are trapped in the pharynx. These food particles, then they are entangled with mucus sheath in the pharynx, which are secreted by glandular cell of endostyle. Hypopharyngeal groove, as we have already seen, the hypopharyngeal groove, it has the cells, glandular cells, which secrete mucus. So these mucus secreting cell of endostyle, they will trap the food particle which are entered in the pharynx. These mucus sheath or food along with mucus which is present in the form of sheath, these mucus sheath are passed dorsally by lateral branchial cilia. Lateral branchial cilia, which are present on the lateral wall of the pharynx, they beat this food onto the inner face of the gill bars, and then the epipharyngeal groove, the cilia of the epipharyngeal groove, it beat this mucus sheath uh, up to the frontal branchial cilia. The mucus sheath, on reaching the dorsal side of the groove, it rolls by ciliary action and glandular pushing into esophagus. So the epipharyngeal groove then push the food material into esophagus. From the esophagus, food is directed towards the lumen of hepatic diverticulum. That means from the esophagus, here we can see that from the esophagus, the food is pushed into this hepatic diverticulum, which we also called as mid-gut diverticulum. So from the esophagus, food is pushed into mid-gut diverticulum, which is also ciliated internally. Here, the digestive enzymes in the mid-gut diverticulum, the digestive enzymes are mixed with food material. So, the mucus laden food in the hepatic diverticulum, it is mixed with enzymes, digestive enzymes. Then, from this enzyme mixed food particle, these are returned back to mid-gut again. The arrow indicates the passage of food from mid-gut from mid-gut diverticulum back into the mid-gut, and from the mid-gut this food is then passed into ileocolon ring. The ileocolon ring rotates the food cord, and in the diagram we can see that here the arrow, this arrow indicates the rotation action. So ileocolon ring rotates the food cord, presumably it helps in mixing the enzyme and food. As the food is rotated like this, it help in churning of the food particle, larger particle, and also the mixing of enzyme along with the food. Then the food cord is pushed into hindgut. From ileocolon ring, the food is then pushed into hindgut, from where the undigested material is eliminated out through anus. Now about the digestion. As we have seen that the food is mixed with hepatic enzymes. So how the digestion takes place? Hepatic diverticulum, that is mid-gut diverticulum, secrete the enzymes because this mid-gut diverticulum contains zymogen cells, and zymogen cells, they secrete the enzymes. The cells of hepatic diverticulum are capable of phagocytosis. Even these mid-gut diverticulum cells, they are capable of phagocytosis. Thus, intercellular and intracellular digestion, both digestion takes place in mid-gut diverticulum. The extracellular digestion takes place in midgut. When the food from diverticulum is passed into midgut, the enzymes which are mixed with the food, they carry out the extracellular digestion in the midgut. The digestive food or the digestive juice which is mixed with the food, it contains amylase enzyme which help in digestion of carbohydrate. It contains lipase enzyme which help in digestion of lipids. It contains protease enzyme which help in digestion of proteins. So the complete digestion occurs in absence of acid. There is no need of acid. In our human body, the acid is required. HCl, which is secreted from our stomach. Gastric juice contain HCl. So in this animal, there is no need of acid. So total digestion, complete digestion occurs in absence of acid. And the hindgut absorbs the digested food. Hindgut, which is present behind the ileocolon ring, here the digested food is absorbed. So this is all about food, feeding and digestion of Amphioxus. So this is all about the digestive system of Amphioxus. In next period, we will see respiratory system of Amphioxus. Thank you.